A flawless 2-inch cylinder of dense orange biomass snaps perfectly under 500 pounds of pneumatic pressure. It is uniform, it is aesthetically flawless, and it is a complete manufactured illusion. What you are looking at is not a young vegetable plucked early from the damp earth. It is a rejected, malformed adult root that has survived a violent, calculated gauntlet of rotary abrasion and heavy mechanical lathes. This is not natural, traditional agriculture. This is an act of extreme, uncompromising industrial salvage, designed to rescue massive profit from the jaws of absolute waste. We expect our food to grow in pristine, predictable shapes, but nature produces chaos, asymmetry, and imperfection. Here, deep inside this high-volume processing facility, agricultural reality arrives by the crushing ton. We are watching a sprawling, chaotic avalanche of dirt-caked, twisted, and oversized carrots plunging into immense water flumes. It is a massive harvest of biological misfits. In traditional, older eras of agriculture, this entire sprawling crop would be deemed aesthetically unacceptable, abandoned in the muddy fields as absolute, unrecoverable waste. But in the cold, sterile light of this 50,000 square foot factory floor, waste is simply not a permissible option. It is the raw material for a multi-billion-dollar macroeconomic loophole. The mechanical challenge is immense and unyielding. How do you force chaotic, stubborn biological asymmetry to conform to the rigid, perfect expectations of the modern consumer? The answer lies in brutal, relentless mechanical intervention. The transmutation begins not with careful pruning, but with overwhelming, high-speed, blunt force. Watch the steel blades in extreme slow motion. High-velocity pneumatic guillotines violently strike the irregular roots, methodically chopping twisted forms into standardized 2-inch segments. The organic, chaotic geometry is instantly shattered, forcefully replaced by harsh, blunt cylinders. It is a highly violent intersection of cold industrial steel and dense cellular structure, an engineering marvel dedicated to maximizing yield every single second. The blunt, decapitated segments are then plunged violently into the rotary abrasion chambers. These rapid mechanical lathes act like an aggressive industrial sander. We see the thick, protective outer cortex of the vegetable being relentlessly scrubbed away. The friction generates intense heat and kinetic energy, tearing down the rugged, bitter exterior until only the vivid, bright orange core remains totally exposed to the sterile factory light. Even now, the machine demands absolute, unwavering perfection. The stripped cylinders fly forward through a highly calibrated optical sorting gauntlet. High-speed sensors scan every individual piece in mere milliseconds. If a segment fails to meet the strict geometric tolerances programmed into the system, precise pneumatic air jets fire instantly, violently blasting the imperfect shape off the line. There is absolutely no room for error here. The surviving cylinders must undergo one final, crucial transformation. They are plunged into wet, continuous tumbling drums that spin endlessly. This specific process softens the severe, violent cuts originally made by the heavy guillotines. It rounds the harsh, jagged edges through pure, calculated industrial erosion, brilliantly mimicking a natural, organic growth pattern. It is the final layer of the visual disguise. The factory has successfully sculpted a perfect, harmless-looking snack out of pure, chaotic biological waste. This is not a small, specialized operation. It is a massive, relentless engine of global supply. Every single day, thousands of tons of unsellable organic biomass flow heavily through facilities exactly like this one. What was once considered a total, devastating profit loss is entirely salvaged and repurposed. The industrial machine runs continuously, transforming towering, chaotic mountains of rejected agriculture into an incredibly high-margin, premium commodity that is shipped out by the refrigerated truckload across the entire globe. This single, brilliantly engineered illusion has permanently altered agricultural grading standards across the world. It fundamentally changed how farmers plant their fields, how giant supermarkets stock their produce shelves, and how we, as a modern society, consume our food. A massive, gaping flaw in the supply chain was permanently patched not by growing better food, but by designing a vastly superior manufacturing process. It is a masterclass in macroeconomic efficiency, disguising heavy industrial processing as a triumph of nature. Think about the crisper drawer in your own home kitchen. Look closely at that bag of perfectly matched, identical orange cylinders sitting quietly on the shelf. We open the plastic, blindly trusting that we are holding a piece of untouched, youthful nature. But those flawless shapes carry the invisible, brutal scars of cold steel blades, pneumatic force, and ruthless rotary abrasion. They are the ultimate survivors of a highly calculated industrial gauntlet. Nature did not grow the baby carrot. The machine manufactured it.